Please direct your attention to the TV screens for the security briefing. Thank you.
Hey, media delegates, your safety and security is our top priority. For your information, please refer to the following guidelines during emergencies. We are now at the World Trade Center, Metro Manila in Pasay City, where the International Media Center is housed. For everyone's information, the building has 2 floors and has 4 entrances and 12 exits as shown in the diagram. In case of earthquakes, we advise everyone to remain calm. Follow the drop, cover, and hold procedure. Drop down on your hands and knees. Cover your head and neck with your arms to protect yourself from debris and any falling objects. Hold on to any sturdy coverings for protection. Hold your ground until the shaking stops. Make way to the nearest evacuation area as shown in the map. In case of fire, when you hear the fire alarm sound, do not panic and leave the premises immediately. For your convenience, restrooms are located at the far left of the lobby when you are facing the halls. There are also restrooms located inside the halls as shown in the diagram. Should you need medical assistance, the clinic is located a few blocks from the information counter. Medical personnel from the Department of Health will assist you. For internet access, please connect to the Wi-Fi network. Thank you, and we wish you a convenient stay. The 31st ASEAN Summit and related summits. One ASEAN, a global player. Good day, media delegates. Your safety and security.
Hello and good afternoon. This is Jenny Rocket with ASEAN 2017's Media Affairs and Communications team. To our foreign media, welcome to Manila. To our local media, nice to see you again. I'm very pleased to have all of you join us today for our very first press briefing at the IMC with Assistant Secretary of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, Attorney Kristian Ablan. Mr. Ablan will speak about the Presidential Communications Operations Office efforts to promote ASEAN 2017. Mr. Ablan is a lawyer with over 15 years of experience in government service. He has advised many agencies on various public policies, such as on local government, juvenile justice, and welfare, public-private partnerships, government corporate charters, election law, and most recently, FOI. I am pleased to welcome Assistant Secretary Kristian Ablan. Asec Ablan, please come up. Thanks.
Thank you, Jenny. Pleasant afternoon to everyone, and welcome to the International Media Center for the 31st ASEAN Summit and related summits. Ladies and gentlemen, today's briefing will focus not just on the facilities available for you at the IMC and how convenient it is for the members of media, but more importantly, we'd like to focus on the achievements of the PCOO, or the Presidential Communications Operations Office, as lead agency of the Committee on Media Affairs and Strategic Communication for the Philippine Chairmanship of ASEAN this 2017. As the primary communication arm of the executive branch in the Philippines, PCOO strives to work together with the media, civil society, and all other sectors involved with promoting the value and relevance of ASEAN in our daily lives. We consider the 31st ASEAN Summit to be one of the most important of all meetings this year. All agencies and offices under PCOO have worked hard to collaborate with other government organizations in promoting and covering this event. We are confident that this will surely reaffirm our commitment towards our global partners and bring in projects and establish agreements that would benefit people from all walks of life. Our teams from the Philippine Information Agency, People's Television Network, Radyo Pilipinas, Mula sa Masa para sa Masa, undertook various efforts such as hosting multi-sectoral forums, putting up information kiosks all over the country, as well as producing and disseminating information materials including ASEAN-related TV and radio programs, infomercials, ASEAN pamphlets and flyers both in English and local translations, all of which are aimed at informing the public of what ASEAN is and its benefits to the ordinary Filipino citizen. Meanwhile, dedicated teams from PCOO CMASC, the Presidential Photographers Division, the Philippine News Agency, as well as the Presidential Broadcast Staff and Radio Television Malacanang, provide photo and video documentation, arrangements for press briefings like this, promotional campaigns through our social media accounts, and the issuance of press releases and news updates that enables us to deliver ASEAN's message of peace, equality, and shared prosperity all around the globe. Of course, I cannot forget to acknowledge the brave members of our Media Accreditation and Relations Office, or MARO, and the International Press Center, or IPC, for arranging the needed logistics for the members of the media throughout the Philippines' chairmanship of ASEAN. Providing for 2,700 registered media attendees on this summit alone is not an easy feat and requires real hard work and dedication to make sure that everything goes according to schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, PCOO has been active in promoting ASEAN awareness to a broader audience over the course of Philippines' chairmanship. A few months ago, we hosted the ASEAN 2017 Dialogues, which was a three-part series aligned with the political and security, economic, and socio-cultural community pillars of ASEAN. We were able to brief attendees and those watching via online streaming about the benefits of ASEAN integration. We were also able to promote public engagement via the ASEAN 2017 website and through social media. You can search us on Facebook at ASEAN 2017. To continue, involving the youth sector was also one of the priorities of the PCOO. As future leaders in ASEAN Committee, innovative minds play a vital role in ensuring a bright future for our region, which is why PCOO partnered with the Department of Education in conducting ASEAN school tours in various provinces in the Philippine archipelago. Around 5,000 students benefited in that initiative and gained knowledge about ASEAN's history, culture, and people. PCOO's envision to nurture a well-informed citizenry as well as take part in policy-level discussions that will further strengthen the media and information sector of ASEAN member states. And under the leadership of PCOO Undersecretary Noel Puyat and Assistant Secretary Kissinger Reyes, we were proud to have organized the 15th meeting of the ASEAN senior officials responsible for information, or SOMRI, last March 2017, which resulted in more efforts in regional cooperation on this sector. PCOO's multimedia campaign for the 31st ASEAN Summit, One ASEAN, a Global Player, highlights ASEAN's readiness as a regional bloc to play a greater role in world affairs. You might have already seen or heard part of PCOO's efforts to campaign this vital part of all ASEAN meetings through our out-of-home endeavors such as billboards and other forms of advertisements on routes that the delegates will be traveling on, as well as along major avenues in host cities across the archipelago. These ads are strategically placed so that guests can quickly associate their visit in our country to the important events that will take place during the summit, and at the same time update you, the people, who we believe would benefit from the outputs that the meetings will produce. A stronger and more united ASEAN. The region is now committed more than ever to engage the world and seize opportunities that our future holds for us. We are confident that the succeeding meetings this week will cement the achievements of the Philippines' chairmanship for the years to come. Now, as with the other essential ASEAN meetings, it has been the task of PCOO to aid our friends from media with workspaces and press briefing areas in our International Media Center. Designed as a hub for media-related communication and information activities, the IMC we have set up caters to the needs of the media, such as workstations, printing kiosks, and logistical requirements during the ministerial meetings and summits. Thank you very much. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang ASEAN.
After the 50th ASEAN Summit in April and the 50th anniversary of ASEAN in August, we're back at the International Media Center.
This time at the World Trade Center in Manila, an impressive 11,300 square meter facility that will serve as the core communications hub during the 31st ASEAN Summit and related summits. And this place is fully equipped to accommodate the media, starting with the knowledgeable staff. Hello! Helpful hands.
This is the schedule.
Thank you. And the warm Filipino smiles of the ushers. First order of business, the distinguishing features and unique perks of this IMC, such as free massages throughout the day at the Relaxation Center, a fun, spiffier social media lounge to get comfortable in, and a refreshments area serving coffee, tea, and local fruit juices for a local flavor. Now to the working area, the main press briefing room. Take a look how massive and extraordinary this is. And can be accessed at any of these press kiosks or at this link and password. Next, we're at the International Broadcast Center, or IBC, a beautiful space of cutting-edge technology and innovative design.
There's a full HD master control room interconnected to the Clark Media Center and the event spaces around Manila, ready to receive and transmit news and information globally. Also, beautiful TV studios that can be booked for special reports or sit-down interviews, not to mention several stand-up locations, both indoors and outdoors.
The IMC for the 31st ASEAN Summit and related summits is one of many endeavors that the Presidential Communications Operations Office has initiated to help the media deliver news and information efficiently around the world, showcasing that truly we are one ASEAN, a global player. This has been Jenny Rocket for ASEAN 2017.
All right.
We will now begin with questions. First, some ground rules. Please come up to any of the microphones on the left and the right side, and there's one in the middle. And please state your name and affiliation. And also, please limit your questions to 2 questions per reporter. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon. Simon from Los Angeles Times. What are the expectations in the presidential office of any bilateral between Presidents Duterte and President Trump over the course of the weekend? What issues do you think will be discussed? And is the President's office looking forward to the meeting, if one takes place, with President Trump?
Thank you for your question, Simon. Unfortunately, that's considered a substantive question on the summit. And just like to inform you that there's going to be another press briefing by the person who can most probably answer your question DFA spokesperson Robespierre Bolivar, which will be at 5 p.m. But I'm pretty sure that a spokesperson Bolivar will be able to address your question. Thanks, Simon.
Next question.
Maybe I can, oh yes.
Okay.
Hello, ASEC. I'm Noemi Dado, Blogwatch.
Hi,
I
Noemi.
understand you accredited around 38 bloggers. So will we be represented in the pool? Will you make sure that we have a slot there? Because in the last summit, we didn't get any, not one of us from social media.
Yes, we will make sure this time around, Noemi, that we will, since we've already acknowledged the participation of social media bloggers, this time around we'll allocate a seat for you.
Next question.
Jenny, I'll address the elephant in the room, which came out on social media this morning about the tarpaulins that spelled the country as Philippines. So let me read the statement of the National Organizing Committee for ASEAN 2017 regarding the tarpaulins with error. The National Organizing Committee coordinates with all our efforts through national and local government units. We also request assistance from private citizens and companies. The ASEAN hosting to be a success is a joint effort of all Filipinos and not just the government sector. We at the ASEAN 2017 Committee on Media Affairs and Strategic Communications, or CMASC, developed brand guidelines with an approved final artwork for rollout nationwide. The exact tarpaulins or billboards seen in the areas leading to the MOA complex did not conform to the approved final artwork. We are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the distribution and display of the subject tarpaulins or billboards. These were neither printed nor distributed by the PCOO, the Philippine Information Agency, TIEZA, the MMDA, or the DPWH. Again, these tarpaulins and billboards that had the wrong spelling of the Philippines were not distributed by PCOO, PIA, TIEZA, MMDA, and the DPWH. We have directed the immediate removal of the subject tarpaulins or billboards. This was the statement of the NOC CMASC this morning. And we learned further later on during the day that the DILG, or Department of Interior and Local Government, NCR region, already issued a statement, clarified that it was issued by them, it was posted by them, and they already took them down, and that they are replacing those posters with the correct spelling of the country, the Philippines. So that is the statement from the ASEAN NOC regarding that misspelled tarpaulins. Jenny?
Thank you, Asec Ablan. Are there any last questions before I close the press briefing?
One last note.
Sure.
So this is the third time PCOO, as a member of CMASC, organized an event as big as the 31st ASEAN. The first was the 30th ASEAN last April, and the celebration of ASEAN 50th anniversary in August and September, and this time around in November for the 31st ASEAN. And we've listened to the comments of the international and local media, and that's why we had the International Media Center here in World Trade Center. We heard from you that you needed more space, you needed more workstations, printing kiosks, a more comfortable social media lounge, and hopefully we are able to address those concerns that was brought up during the 31st ASEAN and the 50th ASEAN. That'll be all.
Thank you, Asec Ablan. If there are no more questions, that ends today's press briefing. Thanks.
Thank you very much.